In fact, I think it was when they had to unbundle the operating system from the mainframe hardware so people could build IBM compatible mainframes. And then one day, shortly after I got here, some guys from IBM call and they say, hey, can we come see you? And you're going to have to sign an agreement that says you can use nothing we tell you, anything you tell us, we can use. And so these guys showed up and they told us after we signed their agreement that they wanted to build a PC and they were hoping to get the operating system and some of our language software for it.
And they were coming to you for the language software.
No, they came to us for the operating system. Now, why? You'd say we weren't in the operating system business. We had a card called the CPM soft card, or the soft card for the Apple II. It was a card that plugged into an Apple II that ran CPM, not our operating system.
Gary Kildall.
Gary Kildall, Digital Research was the name of the company. But we had licensed it to put on this card that plugged in the Apple II. And somehow IBM thought they could license CPM, even though it wasn't our product, they thought they could license it from us. And we said, no, but you can license our language software. But there are these guys down in Pacific Grove, California, and Bill called Gary Kildall and said, there's some guys, they want to talk to you. They're important. And Gary, they went down there and they didn't sign the non-disclosure agreement. And in the meantime, there was a company here in Seattle called Seattle Computer Products that had a little CPM clone.
And so the licensing of Microsoft DOS, which didn't even exist when IBM approached you about licensing some things, is the single greatest business deal in history. The licensing of that software to them.
We made that contention on our episodes.
Well, I just think you look $3.5 trillion later at Microsoft's market cap. This kickstarted it all.
It was pretty good.
Pretty good.
There was a company that happened to be here in town. Paul Ellen and I went down there and we met with the founder who later came to work at Microsoft, a guy named Tim Patterson. And we offered him, I think we paid $45,000 or $49,000 for this operating system because we told IBM, no, we can take care of it. There was kind of a famous meeting amongst me and Paul and Bill and this guy, Kazuhiko Nishi, who ran our kind of affiliate in Japan, where we were talking about this. And there was a lot of, let's just say, 4-letter words thrown around. Screw 'em. Screw 'em's 5 letters, but you get the drift. Screw 'em. Let's just go get this operating system. Screw 'em. We can do this. Let's go. That was kind of the theme.
Kaz was kind of a cowboy.
He was kind of, yeah. Nishi, absolutely a cowboy. So we went, we sold it to him, half of what we paid for it. And we thought, we can do this 10, 20 times. 20 times 21,000, 400,000 against, 50,000 we paid for it. Pretty good deal.
So yeah,
it was a little better than that, as you said.
Talk us through the structure and how you guys thought about this, because
I'm sure
you did not make a lot of money directly from this deal.
No, we did not. We remember the key thing was we didn't charge for the operating system on an ongoing basis. We charged for it one time. If you got a new version, we charged another time, and we did the same thing for basic and everything else because at the time, you could think we were like a substitute for an R&D department, which means we were fixed price. It was only, 4 or 5 years later that we actually switched to licensing per unit as opposed to just fixed fee. Here it is, pay us once and we're done.
But the ultimate thing that you guys negotiated was a non-exclusive deal. You could sell this operating system and your language interpreters, but also mainly the operating system, to other manufacturers. Like, this is IBM we're talking about here.
But
how on earth
IBM
did you
wanted this?
Okay.
IBM, they were experimenting with a different approach. They'd said, look, instead of us building everything all custom, we want to use some industry standard parts, components, because that'll let us be more agile, et cetera. So they didn't come in loath to any of this. They knew that was our business. They know that was Digital Research's business. And, they wanted to use an Intel part versus their own proprietary part. They didn't ask Intel to do them a custom part either. The notion was we'll move fast. will get away from the IBM bureaucracy by taking this approach. So I wouldn't say that was the hardest convincing, if you will, in the story.
But what ended up happening after all these years, and